UFC Shanghai, Walker versus Zhang on Ageless Talk Sports podcast and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe for all my latest content. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. We are about 2 months in, and we're getting ready to go into Ohio State as well. So UFC drops at Thursday at 5 o'clock. And then Ohio State football, if you guys want to watch both, drops at 5 o'clock on Friday. Football starts next week, and here we go. All right, Walker versus Zhang. We're going to first talk about who you got. So, who you got when it was Chimaev versus Duplessis. And according to my Who You Got post on Ageless Talk Sports, check it out every Friday, drops at 6 a.m. 11 votes, 82% said Khamzat, and only 18% of you of the 11 said Duplessis. And Chimaev dominated on the ground, had an awesome fight. I think Chimaev could have finished him. I think he just wanted to prove to everybody in the middleweight division that he was going to dominate the grappler, and he absolutely dominated. Got in 5 or 6 crucifixes during the fight. It was insane. All right, checking out some UFC news. Frankie Edgar is returning from retirement for bare knuckle fight against UFC veteran and BKFC. Mind you, Conor McGregor I believe he owns part of it, or he owns all of it, of the bare knuckle fighting, so that's pretty cool. So UFC Hall of Famer Frankie Edgar is ending his taking you to Reinier de Ridder and Anthony Hernandez. It is official, and they will clash in Vancouver, Canada. And they were there when Borjas was fighting, and he took out Plessis. We just talked about that for the Who You Got segment. And de Ridder and Anthony Hernandez will be fighting in the Octagon in Vancouver October 18th. That's not even that long ago from here. We're end of August, about a little over a month away. And Anthony Fluffy just fought. Hernandez is one of the hottest fighters at 185. Now, since 2021, Hernandez has collected 8 wins, 6 finishes, 8 in a row, by the way, 4 performance bonuses, while carving out a reputation as one of the greatest fighters in the weight class. And I just love him. And DC loves him as well. He's got a 4th round submission against Roman Dolidze and just absolutely dominated the bigger guy. Rear naked choked him. With middleweights Nazardine, Imamov, and Calbaralo battling in Paris in September 6th, Ridder and Hernandez could put themselves at the #1 contention for the title spot. So joining that card is Kevin Holland and Mike Malott. Ontario Malott is going to be fighting, but right now we're talking about Anthony Fluffy Hernandez and Reinier de Ridder. And I want to know, who do you have in this matchup? And do you think de Ridder can out wrestle Fluffy? To me, my personal opinion, I think Hernandez deserves a title shot, and he's going to prove it when he dominates de Ridder. De Ridder is just, he looks like he has no skills. He just has wrestling. That's all he got. And jiu-jitsu. He's just a jiu-jitsu wrestler that can't do anything. But his knees are pretty effective. So hopefully Hernandez doesn't get hit by one of those knees. And there's your UFC news. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Now we're getting into our main fight card at welterweight. We're doing the main card fights. And I think I only lost one last week. 1 or 2. No, I lost a lot in the main. I'm thinking of my parlays that I did. I hit some parlays, but I was going to cash out. Didn't. And I bet that one guy, Hooper probably screwed all you guys up on the parlays, didn't he? Because he screwed me up. Screwed that guy. All right. Closing in, he's at a minus 425 at welterweight. Taiyilake, I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm going to say Taiyilake Nueraji. There's a lot of, it's going to be at 6 a.m. in the morning, dude. So no one's going to be watching this, I don't think. I really don't think. Unless you're in the West Coast and you're staying up, because that'll probably be, it's 2, 3 in the morning, 2 o'clock. But the main card starts at 6 in the morning. I will be leaving for work at that time. On Saturday, yes. I work 6 days a week. Yes, I know. So China is at minus 425. Taiyilake at welterweight against the Irish dude, Kiefer Crosbie. Let's take a look at Taiyilake. 10 wins by knockout. He's only got 1 sub. He's 11-1. Pretty much finishes all his fights and wins. He pretty much did, didn't he? He's got 10 wins by knockout and 1 by sub, and he's got 11 wins. So there you go. He's got a 49% strike accuracy. He's only 24 years old. So looking for this new guy to come out and get the finish via knockout. Now we're going to flyweights. Sumudaerji versus Kevin Borjas. Sumudaerji, he's at a minus 166, and if you look at his highlights here, the dude's freaking beast, bro. The Tibetan Eagle. Now that is probably one of the cooler nicknames in the UFC, the Tibetan Eagle. Fly, baby, fly. So Mudaerji, he won against Raposo back in April. His last loss, he's went back to back. He lost to Elliott. He's like back to back to back to back. So he lost to Schnell. It's the Schnell back in July of 2022 by submission. He lost to Elliott December 9th of 2023 via submission. And he lost to Johnson October 19th of last year. So he's got 3 losses in a row. Finally got off the schneid back in April, but that was a split decision against Raposo. So I kind of analyzed a little bit of this. I'm not going to go into some crazy stats here, but with the guy that he's fighting, he's a stand-up guy, Borjas. I'm sure that at this level, anybody can submit anybody, but he's got 13 wins by knockout, 11 first-round finishes, and the last loss that he had, were by stand-up guys, were knockouts. So I think the Tibetan Eagle, if he stays standing and he can just defend the takedowns, I think he might get this job done. But Borjas, don't get me wrong, he's coming out to prove a point, and he's coming out to win. But I really think Borjas will lose this fight. And I think the Tibetan Eagle is going to fly high, and he's going to win in the second round. Next fight, we're going through this pretty quick. Sergei Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortes Acosta. Now, Sergei is at a minus 250. The Russian. Is at a plus 205, the Dominican Republic guy. So, give me Sergei. He's a number 3 heavyweight in the world. 19-3, 15 wins by knockout. Taking a look at his fight history here, he just beat Rosenstrike by decision, and it's also a big step forward for my fighting career. So I think Sergei will get the win, and let's get her done. Now taking it to the co-main event. This is going to be tough. Number 5, Brian Ortega versus number 7, Aljamain Sterling. Ortega's at a plus 225. Sterling's at a minus 278 right now on the odds. So my heart says Ortega. My mind says Sterling. And whenever you do bets, you need to do your mind. So Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master, is going to get this win. 24-5, 3 wins by knockout, 8 wins by submission. Let's take a look at his fight history. He lost to Evlaev to a decision. He beat Cater, and he lost to O'Malley. But before that, he beat Henry Cejudo, and that was when Henry Cejudo was in his prime back in 2023. That was only a couple years ago, went by a split decision. And he did beat TJ Dillashaw back in 2022. So, big-time names, big-time wins. But like I said, he lost to O'Malley, which sucks. But he beat Cater, lost to Evloev by decision. This was just last year of December. So not even a year ago. And he's coming back to claim a spot in the featherweight division. And I think he will do that. And I don't think Ortega really has anything for him. The only way I see Ortega winning is if he just surprisingly takes him down and gets a sub. Or he gets a sub off of his back, because I'm pretty sure Sterling might want to take it to the ground as well. And Sterling might make a mistake, slip up with a triangle, and Ortega might win. That's the only way I see Ortega winning. But Aljamain Sterling turned pro back in 2011. He's got 8 wins. He's got 5 rear naked chokes. He's got an arm triangle. He's got a guillotine. He's got a modified knee bar. He's won 10 of his last 12, 2 fights at featherweight, most consecutive bantamweight title defenses in UFC history with 3. He's had 6-1 amateur record, 4 first-round finishes, 2-time Divisional III All-American wrestler. He's at 87-27 college wrestling record. And the Freak, his nickname, the Funk Master, it comes from my wrestling style. The Funk Master. There was like a DJ or something, Funk Master Flex. But Funk Master, that'll do. And I really think Aljamain Sterling gets the win, and he is at a minus 278. If you haven't noticed yet, I'm pretty much picking off favorites because last week I think 3 out of the 5 were underdog. I was trying to do dog picks. For some reason, I thought they were going to win, and they didn't. So Johnny Walker at plus 270 and Zhang Mingyang at minus 340. Again, this is in Shanghai, China, and we're at our main event of the evening. And it's going by quick. Getting this show done. Just making my picks, making some monies, and cashing out and going home. You know what I'm saying? So Johnny Walker, every time I watch him fight, he just likes to... I don't know what is wrong with him, to me. I don't think he should be in UFC anymore. I don't know. It's just my opinion. He should get cut. He's not very good. I just want to... Let's take a look at his record. I want to see the last time he actually won a fight. So... Could not continue. So he hasn't won since May of 23, and that was against Smith. And then he did beat Paul Craig by KO. Now, if he connects, he's pretty much going to knock you out. The problem is he's so weird and awkward and lanky, dude. Like, he's just tall. It seems like he shouldn't be in that weight class. He should be at heavyweight because he just looks too awkward, skinny, bony, just barely gets hit on the noggin, and he's like just crumbling. Did you ever see the post where he jumps into the water and everybody was saying he got knocked out while jumping in the water? That was freaking hilarious. But I wish I had that clip. It's so funny. Jumps in the ocean, he fucking gets knocked out by the water. Anyway, so Zhang, there's highlights there. Minus 350. I'm sure he's going to close around that. But coming out of China, he fights the mountain tiger. They have the Tibetan eagle and the mountain tiger on here. So, a lot of forest-dwelling fighters here in the woods fighting in China. Shanghai! Konnichiwa! No, that was Japanese, sorry. So, he's 19-6, the mountain tiger is. And he actually fought Smith as well, and he beat Smith. But this was back on April 26 of 25. And I believe that was Smith's last fight, his retirement match. And then now he's behind the desk there talking and doing all the fights. I'm sure he loves that a lot, even better. But Mingyang hasn't lost yet in the UFC, by the way, as far as I'm looking. He beat Ribeiro, he beat Diaz, and he's beat Smith. So it looks like he's 3-0. For this, whatever I'm looking at on this UFC page, he's 3-0 in the UFC. From about a Fuyang, China. He's only 27. Bangtao Muay Thai is where he fights. I had to say it like that because that's just what you do. Turned pro back in 2014. 13 wins by knockout, 6 by submission, 5 rear naked, and an armbar, 19 first-round finishes. And he's on a 12-fight winning streak. Let me repeat that for you guys. He's on a 12-fight winning streak. And I think he's going to get the KO. The Mountain Tiger is going to win. He might even get it in the first. The way Johnny Walker gets so glass jaw Walker is just going to get touched by a right hook. That's going to just drop him and crumble him as his lights go out. If you remember that one knockout, I forget who it was, remind me, but the one knockout where he got clipped right off the side of the dome and he just goes straight like board and then falls right straight down, which is funny. But I think Zhang Mingyang gets the win. Give me the Mountain Tiger in Shanghai, and nobody's going to be watching, so it doesn't really matter. And that's it. Hope you guys have a good night. Love you guys. God bless. Tip the waitress.